I got part of it.
But
She's cute.
My name is Dylan Jones. I am an actress.
I'm Jeff Gardner, and I am a sound designer and actor, and we've been married, as of today, officially 8 years.
I'm Dawn Didawick,
And I'm Harry Groener,
and I'm married to him.
and I'm married to her.
Wait a minute, how long have we been married?
41 years.
We've been together 43. Okay.
My name's Kitty Swink, and I'm an actor and an artistic director. And you are?
I am Armin, and I won't tell you my middle name, Shimerman.
That's one of our marriage vows. I wouldn't reveal his middle
Absolutely, you
name.
do that and we'll get divorced right away. I am an actor. I am a teacher. I am a novelist. I am a journalist.
And we got married on May 16th, 1981, so almost 39 years ago.
I'm Todd Waring,
I'm Eve Gordon.
and we are actors.
Yes, we are. And I write on the side.
He writes too. We've been married for 32 years.
You go first.
Gregg Daniel, I'm a director and an actor. We've been married 24 years.
Hi, I'm Veralyn Jones, and I'm an actress, and I'm glad he went first because he always has.
I got the numbers.
You go.
We met at the Actors Theater of Louisville in 1976. We were there both for the whole season. I went upstairs to the Victor Joy, walked in to a rehearsal, and there was Dawn.
And we met doing a show.
I had been doing a Broadway show for 9 months, and it had shut down a week before. So I decided there's nothing much on TV, so I'll go down to the bar. And I got to the bar, and George was there talking to a young man from Portland, Oregon, who at that time I didn't know was Kitty's ex-boyfriend. And the three of us started talking about long-distance relationships. In walked Kitty Swink.
Okay, here we go with this one. There's always a dispute between us as to how we actually met.
My version is we met at a book signing on Robertson Boulevard. There was a book published of photographs from Black theater, mostly from New York City. And there was a big book signing for the author that night, and that's when I met her. She was sitting in a bar with her legs crossed, looking gorgeous, of course. And I thought, who is that? And I was introduced to her. That's when we actually met.
We met at our best friend's wedding. During the ceremony, I bumped into him. My heel got stuck in a crack, and I fell over. And he put his hands on my hip, and I went, "Oh, hello." It was a really loving play, and we were playing young people. We were like 25 at the time. We were playing 15-year-olds,
Teenagers.
and so it just made us younger, made us teenagers. So we went out of town with the play. We were in Cape Cod, and we were just goof around on the beach, and we were sort of like falling in love, but we didn't know it at all.
So here's my side of the story. Julie came by where I was working and said, "What are you doing after the show?" And I said, "I'm going down to Barrymore's to meet George for a drink."
You weren't going to meet Mark?
And wait.
Wait.
Finishing the
I'm
story,
so sorry.
and my old boyfriend was visiting me from Oregon, and I said, and my old boyfriend will be there. And so we walked into the bar, and Armin and I met.
My version is that we met, a very good friend of ours, CCH Pounder. She had an apartment that she wanted to rent, asked if I was interested in renting the apartment with a friend of hers, an actor named Gregg Daniel. That's how we first met. We met up at the apartment. I don't know how he doesn't remember this whole thing, or why.
Well, mine is the actual truth.
He sort of held up a card that said, "I love you" on it, and I said, "What?" And he said, "I'm just kidding. I mean, I love you." Great. And I said, "Okay." I was so confused, and I said, "Can I have that card?" And he gave it to me, and he left. And then I looked at it later, and I realized, oh, he totally loves me, because it was written in all capitals and the letters filled in like crazy. So I go, oh, and I kept that card in my wallet for like 25 years until somebody stole my wallet. And if that restaurant was Caramba, and if it was still around, he told me he was going to go to Caramba, get a card, do the whole thing over again.
It was romantic up to the point where I go, well, no, I didn't. As you know, I like you. I love
No, that was cool, because it was like I then thought, oh, good thing I didn't say I love you too, because I almost did.
We went to Hawaii over the Christmas vacation, and we spent 10 days with each other in Kauai, and we had the most amazing reset. And we saw waterfalls and rainbows and dolphins and whales. It was just stupid how like amazing and romantic it was. And by the end of the trip, it was like, oh look, oh yeah, another rainbow. Yeah, it's another rainbow.
I know what mine is.
Okay, what's yours?
It's when he proposed to me. There's a lovely bed and breakfast that we stayed at a lot in Sausalito. And it was I thought it was just one of our regular weekends going up to stay there. And so there was a room way at the top that I always looked up at and thought, oh, that looks so cute up there. One day we should stay there. So this particular trip, we did get the room at the top, which was a big surprise. And I remember walking in and just looking around, and you can see the bay. It was just the most beautiful thing. And I was just going from room to room and like, oh, very excited from each room, seeing each room. And so I finally got to the bathroom, and I looked around and I said, oh, it's so cute, because it's really sort of Victorian-ish. It's really very quaint, beautiful place. And then I just happened to turn around and I looked and I saw this box on the sink in the bathroom. And I thought, oh, somebody left something here. It looks like a case, a ring case or something. And I turn around and he's on his knee, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
For our 25th anniversary, we took the Orient Express, which was it's fantastic. It was fantastic.
I guess it was 6 days.
Yeah, we got on in Venice and we spent a couple of days on the train, and then we had 2 nights in Budapest, and then we got back on the train and went to Paris.
And
all great places.
One would assume that on the Orient Express everybody gets dressed up for dinner. They didn't, we found out, but we had brought our tuxedos and our gowns, and we got dressed every night for dinner. We were in the 9s. 10s? What's it called?
Dressed to the 9s.
Dressed to the 9s.
We were dressed to the 9s. He woke me up at like sunrise one morning and said, wake up, we're going through the Alps. And so we laid in bed and peered out the window as the Alps went by. It was
quite wonderful.
Fantastic.
There was another person at the table at this restaurant, Caramba, and she and her friend were talking, and I got up with one of those cards, the card from the restaurant, and went to the restroom and did this little card and brought it back. And while they were talking, I just sort of slipped the folded card in my mouth, and when her friend wasn't looking, I would open up my mouth where it said, I love you, and then close it whenever she looked, and I would look, I don't.
It was strange, but wonderful. It was just shocking, actually, but it was romantic.
Over the years, because we were apart so much, from the very beginning of our courtship, I sent him cards. These are cards that he would put up in his dressing room. And in every dressing room Harry occupies, and you have them, you know, 11 Broadway shows people show pictures of. Harry puts up these cards and makes a whole environment with the cards that I had sent him of our marriage. And I can't tell you how many dressers and stage managers have come up to me and burst into tears telling me about seeing those cards.
I know when I knew that he was someone that that could really be in my life for a long time in a very meaningful way. It was the day I learned that my mom died. I was with him along with 2 other friends, and we had spent the whole day out together. We went going from one place to the next, and we finally ended up at a play at LATC. And during that intermission, I checked my answering machine. In those days, we had to call in. And I got the message, and I just kind of freaked out, and he had just stepped out of the bathroom and saw me just totally panicking and freaking out. And he just
So I took the phone.
Took the phone, but scooped me up and, you know, got me home, got me on the plane. It was just, there was something about that moment.
The question is, when did you know you were in love? When we left Kentucky, I never thought that I would never see her ever again. It was inevitable. We were going to be together, and we were going to see each other again. I did not at that point know that it was going to lead to marriage, but I said to Peter in Seattle, I think I want to marry her. And Peter, knowing me for all of 20 seconds, said, "Go for it, man, go for it."
After we've been dating for 3 or 4 months going, I'm not in love with him, but I'm going to be. Does that make sense? I just knew I was going to be. That he was the guy. He was, my mother said, don't worry about the ones who try and seduce you, worry about the ones who laugh you into bed. He's funny.
I knew I was in love about 3 months.
The first time he came to my house to pick me up, he said, "Oh, I've been here before."
Oh, that's right. Huh?
And I said, "I know, it's because I'm your destiny." And he said, No, I've actually been to this building before. I've been in, I think, that apartment." And he pointed to my apartment. And I said, "That's my apartment." And he said, No, I've actually been in, I think, in this apartment before." I said, "Yeah, I'm your destiny. It's okay, you'll catch up."
It's a total deja vu moment. When I saw that place, something really weird resonated. It just felt like that was home, or that I had a really good friend who had been there many, many times, which obviously wasn't the case.
See, I knew when we made a commitment to live together. I was in love with you prior to that, but I knew when we said, let's, because you had an apartment, I had an apartment, they were like right around the corner from each other, but you wanted to, get an apartment together, and that's when I thought, wow, okay, further commitment, living together. And that's when I said, yes, we should, we ought to, and we did.
So we're being introduced, we're all introducing ourselves to each other, and I go over to Todd and I put out my hand, and he takes my hand. And I was in shock. He just helped, like hello, and I was like, oh, I think I even said, oh, because what I was flooded with was this just very matter-of-fact feeling of like, oh, there you are. And he was just,
I'm just good.
like, yeah, what?
She's cute.
He was just like, yeah, why are you saying, oh?
Yeah.
He didn't get it for a long time.
I got part of it.
But
She's cute.
But it was, and then that went away and we just became friends and stuff. But then I remembered it later and thought, I really did have that feeling.
And when this season ended, where he was going off thinking positive, I cried, got in the car and cried all the way from Kentucky to Baltimore, my poor football, saying I'm never going to see him again, and this, I don't know. There was some kind of sweet sickness that had taken over me, and that we were probably destined to be together sometime, somewhere. I don't want to make it sound too Pollyannish, but when we met, I'd done a lot of plays and a lot of roles, and I had a perspective on things that made me understand. I mean, when I realized what an extraordinary thing it is to be able to do altering the things that he did so well, I wanted very much for everybody to be aware of that.
I always recommend it to people. I just tell them,
Fight all the time.
I tell them, if you can marry another artist, another actor is ideal, another artist,
Why are you getting all the jobs?
they will understand everything you're going through. They will get it when you're depressed because you didn't get something.
As much money as you.
That's difficult. That's difficult, being married to someone in the same industry. The good side of it is they understand all the problems and all the neurosis that go into our career. It's also difficult because I understand what the problems are. It's sometimes hard to find the right words, actually.
I think it's good in a lot of ways. We understand each other's schedules. We understand, and that's a really big thing. We just kind of operate on this kind of same level in terms of things that we enjoy and do. Scheduling could be crazy, particularly when we're both doing things at the same time.
There was some particle there. We understand art and being creative. I once asked my daughter, what's it like? She's like 21 now. What was it like to be raised by two actors? And she thought it was really exciting. She thought, you know, the insights we have, the humanity we have, the sensitivity, how sensitized we are.
So one of the things that is great is that we keep each other in check always about what is it you want next. And one of the great joys for me is watching Dylan be able to go and do she's done several national tours all over the world. And there's a part of our relationship where at first we thought we had to check in with each other. Is this okay that I do this? Is this going to take away from our relationship? But in actuality, it was, I think, something that made our relationship stronger, was knowing that you were acting somewhere across the globe and it was giving you happiness, and that made me so happy to know that you were doing what you love.
The only drawback with both of you being actors is somebody has to make money.
There's been about 15 minutes in our careers where I was doing better. The rest of the time he was doing better.
But those 15 minutes were difficult.
I love Gregg's passion. I love his determination. He's the most determined human being on the planet. He will, you know, if he's passionate about something and loves something, like how he loves me and how he loves my daughter, he would go through hell, high water, turbulent storms to, you know, for us.
She's so supportive and so nurturing and so just senses what the needs are for all of us, even including herself. And it's just nice how you lay that groundwork for us to be really ready to fall or succeed and have that cushion there of, okay, I'm supporting you, go for it, go for it, go for it. I don't know where this territory is going, but I'm ready to go there with you.
Her brains, her talent, and her commitment.
I absolutely love his passion for everything that he does. He can't do anything unless he's excited and passionate about it. And his integrity.
Oh my God, Dawn has got to be one of the funniest people I know. We laugh constantly at home. We're always cracking each other up. She's also one of the smartest people I know, and one of the most intuitive people, and empathetic person I know. Many times, strangers will just sort of, out of gathering or a party, whatever it is, I'll see somebody that Dawn is talking to over in the corner that she's just met, and they're telling her their life story.
She's got just such amazing energy and love. She's so kind, sweet, and she's very talented, which I will admit I'm always humbled by talent, and it's a big turn on for me.
I married an honorable man. He's talented and funny and so deeply romantic and a kind human being.
Todd not only doesn't have any problem apologizing if he feels he should, but he's also really funny all the time. So if I'm annoyed about something, he'll just say something funny, and then I'm not annoyed anymore. So
that's kind of true. It's a way to get out of a lot of trouble. I've been in big trouble sometimes. Aww. It's just a joke, and we're out.
Yeah, it's true.
What I love most about it is, the first thing is, I'm not kidding, my mother was right. Somebody who makes you laugh, it's the best thing in a marriage ever.
I love you, Dylan.